We've seen it time and time again. A striker dominates in the Bundesliga only to suddenly disappear in the Premier League. But why does this happen? Is it the pace, the pressure? Is the step up really that big? Today we're putting this question under the microscope, analysing the data behind transfers from the Bundesliga to the Premier League to answer this one question. Will Hugo Ekitike be the next breakout star or just another Premier League flop? We've analysed a group of strikers who have made the leap directly from the Bundesliga to the Premier League and compared their final season in the Bundesliga with their first season in the Premier League, looking at their output alone, just goals and assists. Here we can see each striker's goals per 90 in the Bundesliga in red and in the Premier League in green. Let's take a look at some standout names. Erling Haaland is a bit of a unicorn. At Dortmund he was already scoring over 1 goal per 90 and somehow it increased at Man City, a rare example of a striker actually improving post-transfer. Same with Roberto Firmino, he actually increased his goal output massively, transferring from Leverkusen to Liverpool. Taiwo Awoniyi maintained a similar level of goals per 90 at both Union Berlin and Nottingham Forest, actually increasing his output slightly. Aubameyang saw only a slight dip in goals, but nothing indicating a massive drop off. And same with Nkunku, although his first full season at Chelsea was definitely a bit more disappointing. But are these success stories the norm or just an outlier in a more common trend of Bundesliga strikers struggling in the Premier League? When we look at the percentage change of goals per 90 from one season to the next, there's only 3 players that increase their goal output. Some players do maintain a respectable difference in their data, but there definitely seems to be a more common trend of players reducing their output significantly in the Premier League. Let's take Timo Werner for example, who went from 28 goals in 34 games in the league for Red Bull Leipzig to just 6 goals in 35 games for Chelsea. Chelsea also signed another player from the Bundesliga that season, Kai Havertz. He went from scoring 12 goals in 30 games for Leverkusen to scoring just 4 goals in 27 games for Chelsea. We could keep going through each instance of a striker struggling after their move to the Premier League, but let's just take a look at a more recent transfer, Omar Marmoush. Marmoush was absolutely tearing it up for Frankfurt in the Bundesliga last season, scoring 15 goals in just 17 games. He then got a move to Man City in the January transfer window, where he went on to score 7 goals in just 16 games. Definitely not a bad return by any means, but nowhere near the prolific level of goal scoring that he was hitting with Leverkusen. The more surprising change was his lack of creative output for Man City. So let's take a look at how players' assists and overall goal contributions changes moving from the Bundesliga to the Premier League. As we can see, Marmoush went from an elite level of creative output to absolutely zero at Man City. And the reason I bring that up is very important because a player like that doesn't just lose his ability to create chances. The more likely cause of this change is the new tactical system that he's being asked to play in under Pep Guardiola. And this is important because it applies to every single player in this analysis. By looking at the percentage change in overall goal involvements, we can obviously see a clear trend towards a lower level of output in the Premier League. And just looking at those numbers alone, it's easy to say, oh, the Premier League is a more difficult league. And you would have the data to back it up. But we have to consider the context behind each move and the fact that each player needs time to adjust not only to the new league, but also to the new teammates and to the new manager and systems that they're going to be playing under. Sometimes a system can suit a player perfectly, like Timo Werner at Leipzig, but other times a new system can diminish their capabilities massively. But with all this said, there is a clear trend in the data suggesting that we can't just expect strikers from the Bundesliga to integrate themselves fully into the Premier League with the same level of output immediately. So let's get to the main question. What can we expect from Hugo Ekitike at Liverpool this season? Based off our analysis, strikers that move from the Bundesliga directly to the Premier League experience over a 30% drop off in their goals per 90 and 28% drop off in their overall goal contributions. So based off this, with 15 goals in 33 games and a goals per 90 of 0.53 in the league last season, Eketike can be expected to score around 0.37 goals per 90 for Liverpool this season, which would be around 14 goals for the Reds if he played every game in the season. But Eketike does more than just score. He has a good eye for a pass and can create chances for his teammates just as much as he can for himself. So based off this data, we expect him to contribute just over 22 goals and assists for Liverpool this season. To put this into context, this would rank him 9th in the league last season for goal contributions. Do you think this would be a good start for him? Let us know in the comments how many goals you think he's going to score for Liverpool in the Prem this season. If you enjoyed this video, then drop a like and subscribe. We're aiming for 10,000 subscribers by the end of the 25-26 season, so join the community if you haven't already. Until next time guys, have a good one.